Time passes, and after what feels like hours lying in bed, tossing and turning as I attempt to get some sleep, I eventually give up. I sit on the side of the bed and sigh, my mind stuck in an endless, exhausting loop. The harder I try to think about my past, the harder my brain seems to rebel against me. Nothing feels right, nothing at all. And on top of that, all that, I need to come up with a plan for when we get to Terranium. I don't remember much of the Junker planet, but I know it sure as hell is not the kind of place you want to wind up alone. Gambling dens, arenas, bars, strip clubs. What exactly am I supposed to do in a place like that?
Oh, it's Moss Isley.
I'm startled.
Las Vegas.
Yes, it's Las Vegas. I'm startled by a knock on the door, and with a sigh, I push myself to my feet and cross the room to answer it. Ashley, who's at our door?
Again, that's really dangerous to just carry a sigh around like that.
I don't know. Who is at our door?
When I hit the panel to open the door, I find myself face to face with...
Oh.
I want to talk to Calderon. But June would be the one that makes the most sense. We're going to go with Calderon.
Really?
I'm going to climb that angry tree. Adam is so annoyed. You get so annoyed every time I fawn over something. Megan.
Oh, it's... you. Calderon stands awkwardly in the corridor, and when he raises an eyebrow at my greeting, I get the impression he wishes he was anywhere else.
Does he have a black eye?
No, he's just fucking
Got
tired.
arms in a sling. I'm beating his ass.
I
I suppose I deserve that.
I give him a look that says I agree, but I say nothing as all the annoyance from our earlier conversation floods through me once more. Calderon rubs the back of his neck and clears his throat, and it's the first time I've seen him do something that doesn't exude obnoxious male energy.
I'm sorry about earlier. Do you mind if I come in for a minute?
I'm supposed to be resting.
I pretend to consider it for a good long moment, making him wait in the corridor. Eventually, I step aside and give him space to enter the room, letting the door slide shut behind him. He walks ahead of me, so tall that the room seems comically small in comparison.
I forgot we had this room. I told June to shove you in a cargo hold when he brought you aboard. But lucky for you, he never listens to me.
Motherfucker, I know you've got like another spare room in this ship other than this one. I stare at him
It's like a flying hotel.
I stare at him disapprovingly, choosing to ignore that particular jab. If he's come to apologize, he's doing a rather shitty job of it. So which one of them put you up to this? I don't bother to hide the venom that laces my words. He was an absolute douchebag on the bridge earlier, and I think he's beginning to realize it.
Are you assuming I didn't come here because I wanted to?
That's exactly what I'm assuming.
He said that with his body language.
I give him a pointed stare, and his jaw flexes stubbornly before he breaks.
And then a blunted stare.
Fine, Wasayame, if you must know.
I knew it.
All right, smartass. You want a medal?
I laugh at him, and it catches me off guard that, as obnoxious as Calderon is, he manages to make me forget all about the situation I'm in, if only for a few moments. See, he's so obnoxious, you forget the horrible situation of being pried out of rubble during a coup and not having any memory. I don't miss...
So then maybe you're Samurai Jack if you were pried out of a coup.
Fucking hell, I wish I could mute him harder.
I don't miss the way his lips tilt, how his shoulders loosen, and when he turns to me again, I swear his eyes are softer.
Believe it or not, I actually did want to see you. And to ask how you're feeling?
This sudden change in him is surprising. I would have thought he couldn't care less about me, but either Aya has somehow worked some kind of magic on him, or he's not as mean as I had thought. I drop down onto the edge of the bed and fold my arms across my chest. Despite everything, I can't help but keep my guard up around him. I know I've far surpassed my use of the sentence, but really, I don't know. I know how I should feel, lost, alone, terrified. But it doesn't feel so much like my memories have vanished. It's like they're still there somewhere and I just can't get to them. Fucking the file's zipped.
Right.
And I don't have WinRAR.
And the internet's not working.
Yeah.
So you can't download it.
Calderon looks at me in a way I've never seen before, as if he perhaps understands how I'm feeling, but how could he?
I have something that might help.
He digs into his pocket and pulls out a small spherical object. With his palm facing up, he extends it toward me.
Stress ball?
What is it?
Don't you know?
I shake my head as I reach for the object, feeling the cool touch of metal against my fingertips.
I object to that object.
You had this on you when June brought you in here. I thought you might recognize it, or that it might help you remember.
I examine the object in my hand, running a finger across the intricate filigree and the blue jewels set in the metal. It's small enough to hold in the palm of my hand.
You had that on you? He really does select other people's storage, which means he picks pockets.
Jesus Christ. And it feels as though it has some weight to it. They probably checked it out to make sure it wasn't a fucking bomb.
Yeah.
And they're like, okay, you can have it back now. But there's something else, something special.
I think there's something inside, but it beats me how to open the thing. Aya and Bash took a look at it, but even they couldn't figure it out. All we know is that the metal is catalphanite. It was hard enough to get a hold of even before the planet exploded. Now it's about as rare as a substance can get. It's expensive. Whoever you are, well, not just anyone would own a trinket like this. That thing is worth enough to pay for this ship 10 times over.
I need you to understand you're essentially holding one of the Romanov Fabergé eggs in your hand. And you're like, oh. And Cal's like, yeah, you had this in your fucking pocket. I'm only partly listening to Calderon now, mesmerized instead by the small sphere in my hand. There's a kind of power about it, some low thrumming energy that runs over my skin, desperate for release. Everything about it feels familiar. It feels like a secret. As if guided by some distant memory, I close my palm over the sphere, squeezing once before releasing it slowly. The first few notes of a tune tinkle from the sphere as it opens, and my eyes snap to Calderon's, his face just as dumbfounded as my own. I like how Ayame and, fucking Bash both couldn't just figure out, put hand over top, let go.
It's
a music box.
Well, it's not a box, it's a sphere.
It's a music sphere.
Inside the sphere is an intricate maze of moving cogs and soft blue lights. My eyes are mesmerized by the movement as it plays a slow, sad lullaby.
NLP? What that? I guess we'll find out later. Unless that's the initials of an artist.
It is the initials of one of our siblings. The tinkling notes of the song echo through the room, each as hauntingly familiar as the last. It's almost cruel how it caresses the edges of my memories, taunting me to remember faces and names that are no longer there. My heart fills with hopelessness, my teeth clench tight in frustration, and it's only when I feel a tear slip over my lips that I realize I'm crying. But why am I crying? The music box hasn't triggered any memories in me, only a feeling of sadness and longing so strong it makes my heart ache. The melody ends, and for a long time after, neither of us says a word. Eventually, Calderon breaks the silence, his voice barely more than a whisper.
Do you remember anything?
I blink a couple of times to clear the tears from my eyes and focus instead on the man in front of me. He holds my gaze, and it's the first time I've seen any warmth in his eyes. I swallow around the lump in my throat, and though it pains me, I'm forced to shake my head. I'll let you choose.
Something.
There was something there, not a memory, but a feeling. I don't think that music box was mine, but whoever owned it, they were special to me. The words stick in my throat and I hesitate. I wish I could remember more than that. But there's nothing else. Nothing at all. Calderon must see my sadness because he places a warm hand over mine and gently closes the music box with a soft click. It pulses in my hand, its sad, sweet melody still echoing through me.
It's a start at least, but are you sure you want to remember?
My eyes snap to his, and his eyes are so piercing, so full of strength and assurance, that it's hard to look away. What do you mean?
Have you considered that maybe whatever your mind is holding back from you is for your own good?
No, I don't understand why it would, not when I've been trying so hard to remember.
Think about it. What if what happened in your past was so upsetting you simply don't want to remember?
There must be something worth remembering. There has to be.
I hope so, Otto.
He gives me a sad smile and drops his hand from mine. I immediately wish he hadn't. I'd better get going. Rihanna...
I better get going. Rihanna would kill us both if she thought you were doing anything other than resting.
My mouth drops at the insinuation, and before I can think of anything smart to say in return, he chuckles.
Get some sleep.
The sooner you can get rid of me, the better, right?
I may have been a little hasty with the matter. Just get some sleep. We'll discuss the rest later. That's an order, by the way.
All right. Good night, Captain.
Good night, stowaway.
Calderon leaves me with a small smile, and with a heavy sigh, I drop down on my bed and hold the music box above me. The metal glints in the fluorescent light, and I vaguely recall hearing of Catalphanite before. It was found on the planet before it was destroyed, mined from deep below the watery surface in the ocean caves. That would explain its pearlescent shine. It really is a beautiful object. Why do you feel so familiar?
What?
I speak out loud with no one to hear me, and then I squint as something catches my eye within the intricate detailing. There's an engraving on it, NLP. What does it mean? Feeling the gentle lull of sleep begin to weigh on me, I decide the question can wait.
And you drop the music box onto your face.
Opening the music box once more, I set it beside me on the bed, watching the dance of lights and gears as the tinkling melody soothes me.
Great, it's the lament configuration.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
The Hulu remake.
My eyes grow heavy, so heavy, and I'm pulled under by the weight of my exhaustion. Wavering on the brink of dreams and reality, I hear it. A sweet, strong voice, familiar, so familiar.
Be strong, Otto. Be safe. You're a fighter, a survivor. The day where I have to leave you will come, sooner than we both know. Promise me you won't give up.
Who are you? Why can't I remember you? Why does it feel like I miss you when I don't remember?
I'm sorry, little one. I miss you too.
Then you should improve your aim.
No! End of episode 1.
You should probably save.
We should probably save. Bloop.
The buzzing of the ship wakes me, confusion at my surroundings swiftly giving way to recognition that the past few days weren't all just some bad dream. And I'm still here on the ship. I turn to lay on my back and blink up at the ceiling, my eyes sleepily adjusting to the light. Disappointment swirls in my gut as I trace the rivets and lines above me, and I realize that nothing has changed. It wasn't a dream, it was real, and I still have no idea why I'm here.
Hello? Is this thing working?
The crackle of the intercom abruptly booms through my room, and the corners of my lips lift a little as I recognize the voice of Ayame.
Rise and shine, people. Tyrannium is waiting, and it's time to get your asses to your stations.
Pushing myself up on the bed, I swing my legs over the side and yawn. It had taken some getting used to sleeping on a moving craft, and I didn't get nearly enough sleep after laying awake half the night, my thoughts racing.
All right, my brain just needs to. Would there really even be motion? You're in space, so there's no friction, there's no sense of movement. Everything would probably be really still, right?
Well, it depends on how the engine works, I would suppose. And there's at least...
no gravity and no atmosphere, so yeah, would it give you a sense?
Well, there's gravity on the ship.
Like, if you were in a
There's no
place with
gravity.
atmosphere,
Yeah, but
yes,
that's-
you'd feel motion, but...
Yeah, but the ship, the gravity is inside the ship. The gravity isn't affecting the ship, so you probably wouldn't feel movement.
That's all I had to say. I'm fine with it. Like, it's fine. You're fine. It's fine.
That is a question for anybody who has spent any amount of time on the International Space Station. That's
Or people that study space.
or people who've flown around in the shuttles. I don't know. That's a question for astronauts. Do you feel movement in space?
It's strange that when Calderon visited my room the first night, he was almost soft. Though there's no telling how long that might last. Depends how often he talks with Damon. Rather than risk the captain's wrath again, I force myself to my feet, shivering as the cold metal floor touches my bare feet, and head to the bathroom to wash up. That's right, every room on this ship has its own bathroom.
Nice. They didn't give him, like, little slippers? We don't have slippers?
Nah. Well, so this is what happened. We left a planet that's in the middle of a coup.
Yeah. But I would
We're
think that
in-
ships would come with slippers. We could call them shippers.
They have slippers for everybody who's on the ship already. They don't have extra slippers for
No, you should always have guest slippers. I'm saying it's like I have guest slippers. I don't have guest
Or at least
slippers.
house shoes.
They
Yeah,
have
you
house
know-
shoes for themselves. They probably don't fit our feetsies. Do you think Juniper slippers would fit us? No.
Steal
don't even
Calderon's.
see yourself. You don't even know how big you are.
We get to imagine it in our heads. We have to go buy slippers at a store.
Terranium?
Yeah, Terranium.
I had to go to the gift shop.
After my initial meeting with the crew and the frankly hostile welcome
For my future
Calderon,
husband, Calderon.
I have avoided leaving my room as much as possible, content to let Ryona bring me meals and
Mariota. Sorry, okay.
meals and
Done.
generally fuss over
You're
my
done.
well-being.
You're fucking one to talk. You've been doing music cues all night, you son of a bitch. Next screen.
The headaches I've been having since my accident haven't quite disappeared, and the pills and tonics that Ryona has brought me are the only thing helping me to get any sleep at all. That's called a concussion. That and the amazing cups of tea she leaves outside my door. Leaving my room, I pick a direction at a whim and head down the corridor, hoping to see a sign of some sort that might lead me to the bridge. After wandering for a while and finding nothing, I turn a corner and collide with what I can only describe as a wall of muscle, though thankfully the owner of said muscles manages to reach out and steady me before I fall ass first to the floor. Oh, Juniper.
He's always good at catching me.
He's very good at that.
Whoa, Otto, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. Sorry.
No, I'm sorry. I wasn't paying much attention to where I was going.
No harm done.
It's like the complete opposite of Calderon.
The softest man in this game. June looks at me with concern, and I give him a small smile to try and assure him that I'm really fine. It's only then that his shoulders drop and he smiles back. Holy shit, that line hit me up.
Only that one?
I was gonna say.
Listen. Part of this difficulty is that the camera is in the way of my face. I have to be like this, and this, and go over here.
We can find a different place for the camera to live next time. I was actually coming to check on you.
Would it
Oh,
help to move that screen closer?
No.
I wanted to make sure you found your way back to the
Good.
bridge.
That would be a real pain in the ass. I mean, I could do it, but it would be a pain in the ass.
Thank the gods for that, because I am completely lost.
Well, then it's lucky I'm here. I'll show you the way.
I fall into step beside him, and he matches his pace with mine as we head down the corridor. Though at first I wasn't sure if I could trust June. I'm starting to believe that he's one of the good guys. Why else would he have helped me on Goldus?
So, how are you finding your room? Did you sleep well? Oh my god, he's so gentle.
Yeah, you're like, Calderon, and then June is like, oh, hello.
But
are
I'm
you
a soft,
sleeping?
warm ray of sunshine, and I love you.
I'm only green flags, and I have a pet lizard. And Calderon is allergic to cats. You know, Calderon is perfect to you. You can be allergic to cats together. The room is fine, and I slept pretty well. Once I actually got to sleep, that is.
I'm glad to hear it. The beds here aren't the most comfortable. I'm afraid I was worried you might have a hard time adjusting.
I raised an eyebrow at him, noting the odd choice of words. What do you mean adjusting?
I just assumed, after finding you in the Gold District back on Goldus, that you'd be used to something a little more luxurious.
Oh, that's right. June isn't used to luxury. My boy. When I don't show any signs of understanding, he shrugs.
The luxury is kind of the thing that in that district. Think silk sheets and feather mattresses. You wouldn't find anything as drab as this place there. That's for sure.
Yeah, your ship is a little rough, buddy. Oh, that's not something I remember. My heart drops in disappointment. If I'm not from the Gold District, where am I from?
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to confuse you more.
It's okay. Eventually something has got to sound familiar, right? I give him a bright smile in an attempt to hide the uncertainness that all of this is bringing up.
Right.
Silence slowly stretches between us until we round a corner and I speak up again. So are you used to being woken up by Otome shouting through a speaker every morning?
It happens more often than usual, but I was already up. I didn't sleep much either.
Insomnia?
Yeah, something like that.
His
Them
eyebrows
fucking night terrors.
His eyebrows dip in the middle, and I get the feeling I shouldn't ask anymore. Though before I get the chance to change the subject, June beats me to it.
So, how much do you know about Terranium?
Not much at all. Nothing that I can remember anyway.
I thought that might be the case. I'll tell you a little about it, if you'd like.
I nod and encourage him to go ahead. The more I learn, the more likely it is that something will spark a memory.
Well, Terranium's kind of our base of operations when we're not traveling or on a job. It's a desert planet. Water there comes from the oases scattered across the surface, and the oases are largely controlled by various gangs, namely the Chimeri.
There's something dark in June's voice when he says the name, and somewhere deep down I feel a flicker of recognition. Chimeri? June nods, his sandy blonde hair falling into his eyes that have turned hard.
They're Zovak's clan, and the ones responsible for the mess the system is currently in.
I remember the name, Zovak. Calderon had been going on about him last night. How he was the man who killed the royal family and stole the throne.
Anyway, we're heading to a city called Nos Vega. It's not as savage as some of the smaller cities, but things can get wild, so be on your guard. We have a friend who owns property in the busier sector of the city.
My favorite fucking character. Like yes, romance options. Non-romanceable characters, Oppo is my number one.
It's a good place for gathering intel and laying low. I feel like June would be played by Matthew McConaughey. Alright.
June's like 30 years old. Matthew McConaughey is...
Well, 30-year-old Matthew McConaughey. I'm talking about like the vibe. He has a Matthew McConaughey vibe.
Okay. That's what we're doing there? Gathering intel and laying low?
I'm sure you're aware of the damage the cargo holds. We'll find the parts we need to patch it up and scope out the area for a general overview of the situation in Solosha after the coup. Then we'll make a decision on what to do next.
Ayame mentioned the crew is in some kind of trouble. Is it serious? June's face falls, and I get the impression he's holding himself back, as if considering exactly how much he wants me to know.
It wouldn't be fair to drag you into all that. The less you know, the better.
My sweet babyest boy.
Also, does this feel like Firefly, the visual novel? A little bit. I'm not saying it's a one-to-one, but it's the way that the characters are portrayed, it reminds me a bit of Firefly.
There's a bit of crunch to it. A little bit of a hodgepodge feeling of crew members. Like you see the Firefly crew, and you're like, how the fuck did these people... We enter the bridge to a buzz of activity, clearly the last ones to arrive. Calderon and Ayame are seated up front, the pilot flicking switches and pushing buttons while the captain barks at someone through a small wireless device he holds in his hand. A hesitant laugh crackles through the receiver from the other side, and I recognize a voice instantly.
Gotta tell you, there's a lot of noise down here, Cap. We'll make it through the atmosphere in one piece, but I don't expect the outer cargo walls to hold up during landing. Just make sure the airlocks are sealed tight. The hold is already shredded. Nothing we can do about it now. Aye, aye, Captain.
Ryona greets us with a smile from where she's buckling herself into one of the extra chairs. And when I feel a hand on my arm, I turn back to June.
One more thing before we land. Make sure you stay with one of us at all times, okay? Wouldn't want to lose you so soon after bringing you on board. Getting the newbie excited for Las Vegas, are we?
Damon's voice reaches us from where he's standing nearby, sheathing a pair of daggers into place on his thighs. Because of course he has thigh sheaths.
I'm personally looking forward to being back.
June folds his arms over his chest, giving Damon a hard look. He's like, listen here, mister.
Of course you are. People like you thrive in places like Terranium. People like me? What's that supposed to mean? You know exactly what it means, you big poopy head. And I'd rather not worry Otto with all the details before landing.
It's like he's putting his hands over Otto's ears. He's like, you stop that right now, mister.
There's nothing to worry about as long as we keep our heads down.
Oh, yeah. Las Vegas, the place that hates Talarian people. And we're just, sending a half Talarian person down there with no memory. Damon's lips slowly widen into a grin, his gaze lazily trailing from June to me.
Where's the fun in that?
June lets out a long...
That's homophobic to assume gays are lazy.
June lets out a long breath as he guides me to one of the extra seats.
I have to be fair, it's really early in the morning.
Right.
They're just tired. Don't listen to him, Otto. Last time we were here, all he did was sulk around in the shadows and drink that nasty shrimp juice they sell at the Ark. It's not shrimp, it's krill with little blueberry and lemon juice. Don't knock it till you try it, cowboy.
June makes a disgusted face, and I have to agree that the combination doesn't sound all that appealing.
I'll pass.
Damon rolls his eyes as June settles into his seat and abruptly ends the conversation. Before I can take my own seat, he steps in front of me to block the way. I'm even more unnerved by him now than when we first met, though that may be because he's smiling at me in a way that leaves me unsure if he wants to stab me or seduce me.
He wants to stab-deuce you.
Maybe he's just into knives.
Yeah.
My gaze flickers over the knives partially concealed by his coat, and the twin daggers he keeps strapped to his thighs. I wonder how he manages not to cut himself on all that steel.
Real edgelord, that one. Want to do a strip search?
Flirt! The second one. Sure, if you're offering. I give him a mock smile and call him out on his bluff. Let's see if he's all talk.
It's like, gulp! fucking loser.
Here, or would you rather a private room? Damon raises an eyebrow at me before he chuckles quietly, and I know he hasn't taken the bait.
Ha! You're good, I'll give you that. It can be fun having you around.
See, you just gotta, when he gives you a little shit, you gotta give him a little shit back.
Quit torturing him, Damon. Otto hasn't been through enough without you making things worse.
June, shush, we're flirting. Damon grins at the prospect, his head cocking to the side as he sizes me up.
In a moment, Otto and I have some business to conduct.
My eyes narrow on him in suspicion. What exactly does he mean by business?
Well, I'm sure you've had a conversation worthy of a perfectly pleasant brunch with June. I highly doubt the cowboy told you the half of what goes down in Terranium, so walk with me.
He's like, yeah, June's gonna be really nice to you, but you need to know the shit that goes on down there so you don't fucking die. 'Cause then June will be sad. And then I don't want to have to deal with sad Juniper. I quickly realize he's not giving me a choice, and when he saunters over to a large monitor, I follow suit.
What's up, Indeed? How are you doing? Indeed says, you guys were often picked to read the next chapter in class, huh? For me, like, I would read to the point that the teacher's like, all right, Ashley, I know you can read, but some of these other chuckle fucks in class, I need them to practice reading.
Yeah.
So we're going to give them a turn, because I can just go for fucking days.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it was. Or, like, I would be that kid while, like, everybody's reading, like, to the, like, along with, like, the teacher or something in the book. I'm 12 chapters ahead, and then they call on me to read, and I'm like...
Like, listen, I know where y'all are. Oh, you're in chapter... Honey, I finished the book. I'm on book 5.
And then the teacher's like, oh, you haven't been reading, have you? But, like, I'm
want,
ahead.
like, I could give you a PowerPoint presentation of what happened. I don't have time to wait for you losers to finally catch up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was definitely one of those people, like, I was emoting lines and shit like that.
Oh, yeah.
I was getting in a group. I like reading because I'm a nerd.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a lot of books. I like reading.
Did you read your line, by the way?
I quickly realize he's not giving me a choice, and when he saunters over to a large monitor, I follow suit. I watch with curiosity as his fingers fly over the screen, typing and scrolling through information I couldn't begin to piece together even if I wanted to.
You almost said he fingered it.
Listen here. Fuck you.
Think of Las Vegas like a giant sandbox filled with all kinds of neat toys. He's such a fucking edgelord. And then there's an odd shard of glass or two. The kind of fun you'll find there isn't exactly legal, which naturally means that it's the best kind.
He gives me a knowing...
Of course, Funyuns have been outlawed on 17 planets.
He gives me a knowing grin before snapping his attention back to the screen.
Casinos, bars, arenas, strip clubs, brothels, mods, weapons, dealers. You name it, they've got it.
I give him an incredulous look, and when I part my lips to speak, no words come out. Calderon wanted to leave me in a place like that? I hope we're pretty enough for the brothel, Jesus.
Ha! Sometimes people like 'em ugly, I don't know. They like 'em weird. I know what you're thinking. What kind of man is the captain to ditch a lost, lonely traveler in a place like that, right?
Captain's not even, like, in...
He was just being mad.
I don't reply, but I'm sure the hard set of my jaw tells him everything he needs to know. Damon right now is doing his best to both piss off Calderon and us.
He's efficient, and, like, he loves just angering as many people as possible.
Snark and annoying. That's what he's got his degrees in. And with a minor in knives.
Minor in knives.
He chuckles quietly to himself, and I'm glad at least one of us is amused by the situation. You know what? What's so funny? The thought of an amnesiac traveler left alone in a place like that is funny to you, is it? I snap at Damon, who abruptly wipes a smile from his face and stares at me
I
wide-eyed.
love causing that look on his face.
He's like, ah, fuck.
Like, huh? Oh shit, you're supposed to play along.
Are you always just a total dick?
It's like, ugh. It's not about you at all, actually. What's funny to me is that Cal is so stubbornly single-minded that he ditched you without a second thought. God.
That's
I
fair.
see a little stress mark right there.
That's fair. Cal is all like... He's like, Cal is really this fucking dumbass who's like, we're just going to send him off on the next planet. And David's like...
Cal would just like... in that moment, Cal would just throw me out of an airlock just to be rid of me. I advised him to keep you aboard, for the record.
That's because you want to know more about me, dumbass. Why would you do that? He glowers at me, and I think I might have hit a nerve.
Because despite what you might think, I'm not actually a total dick.
I bite down on my tongue to keep from saying anything to that.
Still, Trigger Happy is right. You shouldn't wander around there on your own, especially if you don't know the place.
He glances at me, giving me a once-over from head to toe and pulling his lips into a tight, unimpressed line. I do look like he knows we were picked up from the fancy district, and he's looked at us and be like, you haven't done a day of manual labor in your life.
I smell bitch on you. Or, if you don't know how to take care of yourself.
I can take care of myself. Me, the amnesiac. Damon huffs a laugh, and I swear I hear him mumble something that sounds like cute under his breath.
I'd like to see that, newbie. Might even pay to see that. Though I'm sure the cowboy would have a thing or two to say about it.
I do nothing but narrow my eyes at him, to which he replies with a dark grin, as if that was the exact reaction he was hoping for.
Anyway, I'm not your babysitter, and I don't particularly care what you do or don't do while we're there. So take this just in case. You have a knife?
He pulls out a black leather sheath from the pocket of his coat.
A man is made of knives.
Holds it towards me. On closer inspection, I notice the glint of metal and a sturdy handle. He's giving me a dagger. I mean, if a guy was like, hey, we're going somewhere, here, take a knife, you wouldn't be like, oh my god, he gave me a knife. When I don't make any kind of move to take it, Damon clicks his tongue at me impatiently.
He's trying so hard to stay cool and just getting more and more fucking annoyed. Take it. You'll need it.
Take it. I want the stabby. I hesitate for a moment, wondering if he's going to stick it in my gut himself before I reach out and take it.
Kind of looks like a steak knife.
If what I've heard of Nos Vega is true, it doesn't sound like the sort of place I should be wandering around unprotected. Damon cocks an eyebrow at me, a gesture that makes me wonder if he's surprised I took the dagger at all.
Do you know how to use it?
Stick them with the pointy end.
You got that right. Try not to kill yourself with it, will you? I don't need another reason for the captain to be on my back. Hey, I mean... Well, the ways is he on your back? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damon, how are things looking on your end?
Calderon's deep voice cuts our conversation short, and when I turn, his attention is still firmly fixed on the controls in front of him. I would question if he's noticed my presence at all, having not received so much as a glance from him, but I don't think anything escapes that man.
The radar is coming up clean. No active patrols in the quadrant for the time being. Oppo has the yard clear for landing. We're good to go. Ayame. We're coming into orbit, switching autopilot off to prepare for landing. All stats are looking good despite the, well, you know. Sebastian? Would it kill me to call you Bash like everyone else? Sebastian?
A sigh crackles through the receiver, followed by Bash's voice once again, bright and bold.
Engines are A-okay, let's get busy.
Damon snickers beside me, shaking his head before he pushes me toward an empty chair and sits me down.
Does he even hear himself?
I raise an eyebrow as he straps me in, securing the belts around me in place and pulling twice to ensure they're firm.
I'm definitely hitting. Oh, you do care.
Oh, you actually do care about my safety after all.
I care about whether you go flying from your seat and kicking me in the head on the way past. Now sit back and shut up.
Yes, sir. He yanks on the belt again, pulling it tighter across my chest as he leans forward and half whispers.
Don't make me strap your mouth shut, too. Goddamn. Damon, shit!
I clip my mouth closed in case he decides to make good on his threat. Though something about his smirk gives me the impression he might actually enjoy that.
Everyone take your seats. We're about to enter Terranium's atmosphere.
The sound of metal groaning catches my attention when Damon takes a seat next to me, strapping himself in just as the ship lurches and rumbles.
Why does Terranium sound like an undiscovered metal from the periodic table?
Leaning forward as far as my restraints will allow, the beige-orange mass of Terranium surrounds us. The vivid neon lights and unusual buildings of Nas Vega grow closer and closer as we approach our destination. When we descend the loading ramp, the first thing that hits me is the heat. Not the balmy weather you'd expect on a pleasant summer's day, but the scorch of fiery engines and hot metal. The late afternoon sun hangs low in the sky, and a metallic, oily scent lingers in the air. I wrinkle my nose at it, surveying my surroundings. We're on a landing strip in what looks to be some kind of junkyard. Scrap metal piles up on either side of us, broken down bots, rusted old spacecrafts, outdated tech. A graveyard of poor, unwanted things. It's a relief to step onto solid ground after the past few days in space, and I toe the dirt beneath my shoe, kicking up a small cloud of dust. Following behind the group, my eyes drift over the piles of junk surrounding us until my gaze falls upon a serving bot, an older model by the looks of what I can see of it, laying half buried within a pile of rusted metal arms, legs, torsos, thrown haphazardly into a pyramid. I step toward it, its black eyes, one cracked right down the middle, staring into mine, and its mouth opening and closing slowly, like a dying goldfish. A shiver runs through me, and I find myself feeling oddly sorry for the machine, left lost and alone among the skeletons of its own kind. Someone grabs my arm and yanks me aside roughly, and I see immediately what they've saved me from. They've saved me from impaling my foot on. A piece of scrap metal lays half buried in the sand, its jagged edge poking up ominously through the dust.
Be careful.
Calderon gives me a hard look, his face schooled into an expression of annoyance. I'm gonna let you choose. Sorry, I was distracted. I roll my eyes at my own callousness, but I'm thankful that someone was watching out for me. When I turn to Calderon, I notice his gaze lingering on the same sad bot. There's a look on his face that I can't quite decipher. It happens.
Bitch taking my lines? It happens.
And with that, he continues on, leaving me watching him go, a little dumbfounded. June told me I should stay close to someone while we're here, and now more than ever I agree with him. I'd feel more comfortable if that someone was... Who you gonna hang?
Calderon! I'm hanging out with the guy that's the most annoyed with me. Calderon. He is my new best friend and my tree husband that I shall climb.
I catch up to the captain, falling into step beside him, and he raises an inquisitive eyebrow at me.
Oh no. It's imprinted on me. Are you going to give me trouble while we're here, stowaway?
No, sir. Calderon hums his approval, and I swear I see the hint of a smile curve his lips.
That's what I like to hear.
We don't have to walk much further before we're greeted by a scaled lizard-like being who smiles and spreads their arms wide to welcome us. It's Oppo! I break away from the group a little to get a better look at our host.
Welcome, my friends. Oppo is very so happy to see you again.
Calderon steps forward first, a rumble of impatience hanging thick in his words.
Skip the pleasantries, Oppo. We're here on business.
Oppo drops their arms, surveying Calderon with an almost fearful look. I don't blame them, really. The captain is an intimidating man.
Yes, of course. Do you have the parts? Right over here, Captain.
Calderon strolls over to the gear with Damon in tow, while Aya steps forward to give Oppo a much friendlier greeting.
How have things been around here, Oppo?
She smiles up at the lizard, who towers above her and makes a non-committal kind of sound.
Bad, very bad since Kamari took over power. Oppo barely gets enough water to keep the club running. Now they have control of the council. Every oasis on the planet is under their order.
Aya's eyebrows shoot up higher, her expression shifting to one of horror.
Zovak gave his clan control of the Council of Embers? Yes, the old councilors executed. Many of the arena fighters have been taken from planet, made to serve the king's army. Oppo fears bad things are coming to the planets.
June frowns, and I can't help but notice Oppo shy away a little, having only just noticed he was there.
I think you might be right, Oppo.
The Council of Embers? I ask Bash, who's standing beside me, and he whispers back his answer.
Council of Embers are Terranium's government. Every planet has one. Council of Eons on Telara, Council of Iron on Cursa, Council of Essence on Orion. There was also the Council of Pearl before Kalachia was destroyed. All of them answer to the Crown Council on Goldus, who in turn answers to and advises the monarch.
The monarch? You mean Zovak? Bash wrinkles his nose at the name.
Most would argue against this claim. The monarchy has always been passed down through the royal Pegasi family ever since its creation. Zovak fought his way to the throne and took it by force. He's a ruthless man, and his clan, the Kamari, just as bad.
While June and Aya carry on their conversation in hushed tones, I feel a hand on my back as Bash steers me toward Oppo, hailing them with a wave of his bionic hand.
Oppo, I wanted you to meet Otto.
The Arcanos looks at me, their beady eyes blinking rapidly and their forked tongue darting out from behind pointed teeth.
Mr. Brash brought Oppo a new dancer, yes? No. This is our new friend, not a dancer. Yes, friend.
Oppo's like, how can Oppo make use of this person? Bash shakes his head at the lizard, then leans in a little closer to whisper to me.
Oppo runs a pretty popular club here in Las Vegas, and part of running the club involves hiring dancers. Of the sexy kind, if you get what I mean.
An ungraceful snort of laughter escapes me, and I'm not sure whether to feel flattered or offended that Oppo had considered me a candidate. I mean, if I need a job. I see.
I would say, for those of you that are unaware, Otto will put up a picture later. A bit of a lithe frame. Some might describe it as a bit twinkish. So, an adorable person of their stature dancing, I could see very many people finding that appealing. Would that be a fair assessment, Megan?
Yes. Otto would need to gain a little bit of muscle if they're going to be pole dancing. They need to do a little bit of practice. They don't have a lot of muscle.
Would Otto's club be more pole dancing, or would they be like cage dancers?
It depends on what sort of dancers Oppo has.
Do they have different theme nights, you think?
I don't know what... Because, so there's, the regular, dance, regular club portion of the club.
Yeah.
And then there's,
the sexy part of the club.
The sexy part of the club. And you don't really see much of that
now,
in games.
here's the thing. Because you can have a club with, regular dancers, and you have, the really important bits, they're covered, and they're still dancing, and you can have them in cages throughout the club.
The art does not denote that in the game.
Oh, okay. Oh, we get art? Nice.
I feel a nudge on my arm, and when I turn, Oppo is beside me, teeth bared in a pointed smile.
You will come and work for Oppo? Yes. Better than slumming it with the astrometer crew. It's Andromeda, Oppo. How many times have you been over this?
Oppo blinks at Bash once, and then twice, ignoring him completely as they turn back to me.
A spot just opened up in Oppo's club. Very popular tourist destination. Oppo will give you a good price. No need to worry. Back off, Oppo. This one's with us.
Oh, Calderon, what was that?
Get a little possessive. Like it.
Calderon shoulders his way past the Arcnos? I don't know.
Arcnos, sounds good.
Standing between us and blocking me from Oppo's beady eyes. His shoulders brush against mine, and the scent of clean soap and fresh linen washes over me.
Nice.
I can't see Oppo's reaction, but I hear the reply come from Calderon's other side.
Yes, Captain, at once. How much for the parts? 2,000 credits. 2,000.
Calderon leans in and says something to Oppo in a harsh whisper I don't understand. I realize after a moment that he's spoken another language entirely. Someone's a fancy lad.
Eh? For you, Oppo will take 400, and Oppo's junkers will install the parts for you, free of charge.
Calderon leans back and crosses his arms over his chest, looking awfully pleased with himself.
You go to club while you wait. Show your new friend our hospitality here in Las Vegas. No chance. I'm staying with the ship. Come on, party pooper. The ship's in good hands. Isn't it, Oppo? Yes, yes. Oppo take very good care of it. This might be light a few parts when you come back.
Calderon looks unconvinced, though he heaves a sigh despite his hesitation, and Aya gives him an excited clap on the back before she turns to me.
We are gonna have so much fun.
The streets of Las Vegas are a minefield of neon lights, tiny shop fronts, and stalls, and all manner of creatures roaming the city. It doesn't take us long to reach our destination, stopping outside a large, odd-shaped building with a fluorescent sign on the top reading, The Ark.
And I think there's a good spot for us to break.
Yes, and we should probably save it here as well.
Yeah. No, we're not going to save. We're just going to start at the beginning of episode 2. Alright, so... Is there a... main? There we go. Main menu. Confirm. So that has been for part 1 of Andromeda 6.
Yeah.
We'll be continuing this playthrough. How many episodes do we want to do of Andromeda 6 before we move on to another game?
3.
Alright,
so we're going to aim for 3, but we have a specific game we want to play in October. So basically we're going to stop at October, and then we're get up to chapter 3.
we will probably get to chapter 3 by next episode, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
Because we're already at chapter 2 now. And we only played for 2 hours.
At least chapter 3.
Yeah.
Let me just check the calendar.
The calendar?
So this Tuesday, nothing. We got 1. And then we got 1. Okay, we've got 2 Tuesdays between now and October.
We haven't met this guy yet, right?
No, we meet him in episode 3.
Okay. So far, we all know Calderon's my favorite.
I've played the entire game. I can't list them in a numerical order. I like Damon's Root a lot, cause underneath his snark, there's this layer of
Squishy boy.
he likes baking,
Oh.
and he'll specifically make food. If you go on his romance route, part of dating him, he'll make baked goods for you.
That's delicious. What about Calderon? Is he squishy on the inside?
He's been through a lot. He's probably like they all have like their. I wouldn't call Damon particularly squishy, but I also wouldn't call Calderon particularly squishy either. Like, he loves his moms, but like most of his backstory is just he was in the military.
No, I'm trying to like see, like, is he like nice to you in a relationship?
I mean, obviously they're all nice to you in a relationship, but like Calderon's more protective, where Damon's a little bit like there's more snark, like more teasing in Damon's relationship, while Juniper just continues to be an incredibly green flag.
Like, he's just there to make sure you're okay.
Yeah,
And he loves you.
it's, I would say, most depressing. It's hard to say who actually gets the most depressing backstory. None of them have a good backstory. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them don't have parents anymore.
Oof.
Only Cal and Rayon have their parents. Everybody else's parents are dead or missing.
Oops. Oops, no parents.
One of them wants to kill their parents.
But that is us for the night.
Already has.
So if you make sure you get the chance,
Yeah,
wish list Bad Summer on Steam and itch out.
And you can play Andromeda 6 right now.
Download it on itch.io. If you are a person who is currently making an Otome game or a dating sim or a visual novel, we want to fucking play it.
Yeah.
We would love to stream it for you.
Yeah.
So let us know. Let us know. You can email us. You could leave comments and shit. Follow us on Blue Sky. You look up Otome Oclock on Blue Sky. Look for our little logo. That'll be us.
Yep.
And it's like, hey, here's a link to my game. You should check it out. I think it'd be super cool. And we all have a good time. And it's fun stuff. I have nothing else to say other than that. Megan, do you have anything?
Nah. Not really, no.
Yeah. I'm gonna go now.
Yeah.
We're done streaming. We're overtime.
Yeah.
So that's been us.
And this has been Otome Oclock.
Yeah. So
I'm Megahan.
I'm Ashley of the A Button.
We'll see you next Thursday for Stardew.
Yes. And
The Tuesday after that for more Andromeda 6.
Yes. But next Tuesday on YouTube, we will have an edited episode of Otome Oclock. It will be the last episode from our Otome Oclock normal playthrough.
Update everything.
And then we're going to figure out, because we're doing a Otome Oclock overtime, or Otome overtime, however we want to name it.
Otome Oclock overtime.
It's going to be full playthrough. The first game we're doing a full playthrough of is Date Everything. We're going to continue off from the end where the official show is, and we finish the game.
Yeah.
We're figuring out a time frame for that, but...
Yeah, and the first episode's going to be an hour and a half.
We're trying to cut down... Like, listen, we haven't just
It
posting
was an hour 45.
We have just been posting up the fucking shows wholesale for 3 hours, and people are like, that's a bit fucking much.
Yeah.
Can you trim it down a little bit? Because
A little trimmy.
A little trimmy. Little bit.
A little sliver of trim.
So, yeah. We expect that. We'll see you next time. Take care of yourselves.
See you next time. Bye.
Bye.